Hello YouTube, Psychofox here. Another pickup. I've got a Commodore 64C. I owned two Commodore 64s in the past. First I got a bread bin, and I also got a 64C as well at some point. Both I've not got anymore, unfortunately. Sold them a long time ago, and I had the SD2 IEC, is it called? The little SD card for the bread bin model, which is good to have. But yeah, I found this cheap on eBay because it was untested. So I thought I need a Commodore 64 back in my life. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a restoration on it. It's not in bad condition. It's not really yellowed much. I noticed, you can see under the spacebar there, the casing, I've already got this open so you can see, but the casing has got a bit of a dip in it. So I'm hoping to even that out with a heat gun from behind. So I've already unscrewed the case, disconnected the LED and the keyboard. So just to show you what we've got. So yeah, the keyboard's it's not too bad, a bit dusty. So I'll give that a dust off. And I'm pleased to see that all the chips are here. No one's harvested it. You know, there's no missing SID chip or anything. So yeah, this is not bad condition. It's a little bit dusty. Some of the contacts are a bit dull on those edge connectors there. So I'll take this out of the case, give the case a good scrub down. But yeah, I'm hoping it works. I've not got any power supply. I bought a little connector that allows you to use the 5 volt from a PSP power supply and the 9 volt from a Super Nintendo power supply. This board needs 5 and 9 volts. So that's just a cheap and dirty way of getting the voltages. So in the meantime, well, that's winging its way to me through the post. Let's get cleaning this thing. Okay, so I've given the casing a scrub down in the bath with a shower attachment, and yeah, a fair bit of brown dirt came off it and a bit of dust. It's looking a lot nicer. I mean, if anything, even if this computer doesn't work, I paid about 20 quid for it, and it's almost worth it just for this case because it's absolutely immaculate. Really nice. So I've also given the keyboard a dusting over with an anti-static brush. I'm not going to go the whole way of taking every single key off and scrubbing it because they look actually pretty nice. I've cleaned each key individually with a baby wipe, like so, and dusted underneath as far as I can and blown all the dust out, and it wasn't too bad actually. A couple of dead flies, and that was about the worst of it. So got the actual board here. Again, not too bad. So all I'm going to do is with my anti-static brush just give it a dusting like so. And there's the odd little dust bunny coming off, but nothing in particular. So yeah, if and when this is actually working, I'm going to put a few heat sinks on some of these chips. That's what I tend to do with all my consoles. I did that on my CPC 6128, just on the chips that get a bit warm once it's in use. And these little boxes, the RF box and the cartridge port cover, they've gone a little bit rusty. So I could always sand them and respray them. But on the whole, it's looking alright. The fuse is intact. Not too bad at all in here, really. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a bit of isopropyl and shine up these connectors. Once I reassemble it, I'm going to leave this. I think I'll probably just leave that off because it's not needed anymore. It was just for some crazy standards that you had to comply with at the time regarding shielding. But saying that, what am I going to do with it? To put it in the bin, I might as well just stick it back in the casing. So yeah, very pleased with this. For I think this was £21. It also came with 2 data sets. which are also untested. I mean, I'm not too bothered because I'm going to get another SD2IEC on this, so I won't be actually loading from tape anyway. But yeah, I'll get it all put back in the case once the case is dry, and we'll get it tested without a power supply adapter. Let's see if the thing actually works, and if it doesn't, we can hopefully put all our heads together and find out why. Okay, so I've got everything back in the case. I've just given that cardboard, foil covered cardboard, a little bit of a wipe down. It's come up alright, so I've just stuck it back in the case. Everything's looking good though. Everything's looking nice and clean. So the top of the case, as you remember, it did have a bit of a bend in it, so I've heated that up. I'm just done it with hairdryer at the moment. I've left the heat gun alone for the moment, and I've just got one end of an 8kg dumbbell resting on it, and that's been resting on it till it's cooled, which it has at the moment. So let's see if that's done anything to improve the bend in it. And yeah, it's definitely evened it out. There's a very slight bend in it still. Only very slightly. I'm not sure if you can see that. But that looks good. So once that gets installed, you hopefully won't notice it too much. Not sure if you remember what that was like before, but it was a lot worse than that. So yeah, I can always go over that again if I need to, and just adjust the position of the weight. But yeah, for now, that is looking really nice. Absolutely spotless. Minty clean. So I'll get that all put back together, and yeah, let's test it out and see if it actually works. Okay, so we got a little power adapter here. This came from a seller in France. I'll put a link below. It's about £10, and it's the cheapest way of powering a Commodore 64 if you've not got the original power supply. So it just plugs into a 9V AC adapter from a Super Nintendo or NES, and the other little connector goes into a 5V from PSP. So I had these lying around. I think most people probably have these models of adapters lying around, and that provides the 9V and the 5V for the Commodore 64. So let's finally get this plugged in and see if all that cleaning was worthwhile, see if the thing actually works, because it has been opened up in the past. So yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, so we've got everything plugged in, and this is a genuine first test. Got the TV flickering away there on channel 1, so let's see what we got. Power light, and we get the basic screen. So yeah, pleased with that. Does the keyboard actually work? Because I've had one of these before, and the keyboard was absolutely gummed up. I think someone had spilt something on it before, but this one, I mean, it feels fine, but yeah. Yeah. That looks good to me. Good stuff. So yes, this C64, it's running fine. So this cost me about £21, and it came with a couple of data sets as well, which I won't be needing, because I'm going to connect an SD2IEC to this. Had one in the past and gotten well with it, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do again. So a lovely clean Commodore. It was genuinely untested, because obviously the power supplies are hard to come by if you've mislaid yours in the past. So yeah, in this case, it was genuinely untested, and it actually works. So really pleased with that. Great stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll be doing a few more lazy restores very soon.